Enjoying Shavasana, relaxation pose. Keeping your breath diaphragmatic. Maybe diaphragmatic and smooth transitions. Having the same amount of power between the inhale and exhale. And maybe an equivalent breath flow, or breath flow where the exhale is a small degree longer than the inhale. On an exhalation, bringing the legs together. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead for a symmetrical stretch. You can syncopate the body and breath by pointing the toes, reaching up through the fingertips. As you inhale, on an exhale, flexing the feet, jutting out the heels, and making gentle fists with the hands. Inhale, you can extend the outer extremities. As you exhale, you can gently compress the outer extremities towards the torso. On an exhalation, hugging the thighs into the abdomen by bending the knees and holding onto the backs of the thighs or fronts of the knees. On an inhalation, bringing the arms out to a T position, palms facing the ground if you want more of difficulty. As you exhale, allow the knees and legs to fall towards the right, head to twist comfortably to the left. As you inhale, bring the legs and head up. As you exhale, allow the knees and legs to fall towards the left, head to twist comfortably to the right. On an inhalation, bringing the legs and head up. And as you exhale, extend the feet towards the sky by dissipating the bend in the knees, holding onto the backs of the thighs, backs of the calves. Toes are outsides of the feet. On an inhalation, bringing the legs into a V position. On an exhalation, bending the knees, bringing the arms onto the insides of the legs, holding onto the insides of the ankles or inside arches of the feet for happy baby. Bringing the soles of the feet together as you inhale and placing the outsides of the feet onto the mat for reclined butterfly. On an exhalation, bringing the soles of the feet onto the ground. Knees will move closer together. And as you inhale, move into an arching position. On an exhalation, allowing the vertebrae to descend and eventually the sacrum posterior rest into the floor. That juncture, as you inhale, extend the legs onto the ground. And as you exhale, roll over to the left side. Once again, reestablishing any connections to the breath that will help you move in some of our subsequent positions. On an exhalation, rolling over to the belly. Arms extending overhead, chin or forehead resting on the mat. As you inhale, move into Sphinx. On an exhalation, child's pose. As you inhale, crawling position, beginning your cat, cow, child, cobra, alternating with your own breath. This is half time if you'd like to switch the positions in which the bodies are engaging in or continue. Now can be the time. Finding equivalency between the movements and eventually moving the torso in circles. This is half time if you need to move the torso in a different direction or totally change the way in which the body is moving. On an exhalation, moving into child's pose. On an inhale, moving into Vajrasana, kneeling position. And then if you need, you can always stand up on the knees for ease, or you can stay here kneeling. We'll just twist. On an exhalation, twisting in a direction. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. As you exhale, twist in the opposite direction for you. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. As you exhale, stand up on the knees. As you inhale, bring that left foot forward. Exhale, making any adjustments. And on an inhale, you can reach the arms up overhead if you would like. On an exhalation, twisting in any direction. Inhaling forward, then exhale, twisting in the opposite direction for you. On an inhale, bring the torso forward. As you exhale, bring that left knee back to meet the right. As you inhale, bring that right foot forward. Exhale, making any adjustments. And as you inhale, you can reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, twist in a direction. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. Exhale, twisting in the opposite direction for you. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. Exhale, that right knee back to meet the left. As you inhale, sit back on the heels. Exhale, folding forward into child's pose. As you inhale, move into a crawling position. Bring those hands a few inches forward to exhale into a point pose. As you inhale, move into Sphinx or Cobra. And then from here, curl those toes under. Exhale into Downward Dog. You can bend one knee, assisting in the other leg's extension, and then slowly alternating. On an exhalation, bringing that right foot forward. Inhaling into your lunge. On an exhale, bringing that left hand down. Inhale that right arm up. As you inhale, move into your side plank. As you exhale, bring that right hand down. Inhale into your plank. And as you exhale, a point pose. Inhale, Sphinx. As you exhale, downward dog. Exhale that left foot forward. Inhaling, torso up. Exhaling that right hand down. Inhaling the left arm up. As you inhale, engage in your side plank. Exhale that left hand down. Inhale into your plank. Then on an exhale, a point pose. Inhale, Sphinx or Cobra. On an exhalation, child's pose. As you inhale, sit up on the heels. Exhale, twisting in a direction. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. Exhale, twisting the opposite direction for you. On an inhalation, bringing the torso forward. As you exhale, we will move on to the belly. Full torso in connection with the ground, chin or forehead resting on the mat. Arms can be in a goalpost position where the elbows are bent and the forearms are connected with the ground. As you inhale, you can bring the head and upper torso away from the floor, exhaling down. If you're feeling rambunctious, as you inhale, you can bring the arms up in conjunction with the torso, exhaling down. Doing this, the number of your choosing, somewhere between 0 and 10. The trick for these next movements are to attempt to have the breathing be at the same pattern it was during Shavasana and moving the body at the same rate, even if that means the body's not moving as far into the position, the body's engaging in the slow movement, fully conjoined with the breath. This one will be a little different than what we normally do, just because we'll do a single leg lift on both sides, really engaging the gluteals, attempting to adhere to the same number, extending the arms alongside the body, palms down if possible. Here, just bring one leg up as you exhale. Really engage that gluteal, then exhale down. Now switch legs, inhaling up, exhaling down. Do this 4 more times on each leg. and then we'll do doubles. Once you've done your singles, do the doubles, following your own breathing rate and that same count of somewhere between 0 and 10. Once you've done your amount, you can exhale back into child's pose to just help that low back find its space once again. And once you've sufficiently rested in child's pose, move the torso in which you're laying on the left side. And here we'll do a single leg lift with that right leg, exhaling the leg up. As you inhale, releasing the leg down. For more difficulty, you can lead these movements with the heel. Exhale, the heel leads the movement up, and then as you inhale, the heel leads the movement down. This does add a little rotation onto the leg, so be mindful, it may put a little extra pressure on the pelvis. Adhering to your number. And upon completion, rolling over to the back. Here, single or double leg lifts. Choosing your back position, whether you're fully supine or you're resting on the elbows with the upper back away from the floor. Exhaling one leg or both legs up. Then as you inhale, release down. Once you've completed your amount, you can just gently hug the thighs into the abdomen. And once you've rested sufficiently, you can extend the legs onto the ground. Cross the forearms in front of the chest. The key aspect here is to keep the crunches low to prevent any excess pressure on the low back. You just exhale, bring that upper torso away from the mat as well as the back of the head. Then you inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, adhering to your number. Once you've completed your mount, you can gently hug the thighs into the abdomen. Once you've sufficiently rested, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Knees will be bent. And then here, option one is as you inhale, arms are alongside the body. You reach the belly up into the sky. As you exhale, you release down. Option two is as you reach that belly up into the sky, you can also reach the arms up into the sky and then all the way overhead when that belly reaches the apex. And as you exhale things back down, the arms descend back down alongside the body. Option three is just to hold. Option four is to engage in single leg lifts whilst holding this arching position, adhering to your number. Once you've completed your mount, you can hug the thighs into the abdomen. Once you've sufficiently rested, roll over to the right side as we engage in single leg lifts of this left leg, exhaling up and inhaling down. You can always lead this motion with the heel to add a little extra. Once you've completed your amount, roll over to the belly and we'll engage in Sphinx. And here on an exhalation, pressing back into child's pose. On an inhalation, moving into a crawling position on the hands and knees. Exhale, find your grounding while here, and then on an inhalation, reach that left arm up into the sky. And as you exhale, thread that left arm through the space between the right hand and right knee, allowing the left shoulder and left ear to connect with the ground. This is option one. Option two can consist of bringing that right leg up into the sky. You find the position that works best for you. On an exhalation, releasing anything that may be up. As you inhale, reach that left arm up into the sky. Exhaling that left palm down. On an inhale, reaching that right arm up into the sky. As you exhale, thread that needle. Right shoulder and right ear relax into the ground. This is option one. Option two can consist of that left leg reaching up into the sky. On an exhalation, releasing anything that may be up. And as you inhale, reach that right arm up into the sky. Exhale that left palm down. Inhale, curl those toes under. Exhale, walk the hands back, bring the knees away from the floor. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale, engage in a forward fold. As you inhale, come up and arch back. Then exhale. Release the hands down as we balance. The balance I would prefer would be a T pose or a leg lift during a forward fold. It is your choice since they're somewhat similar in the way that you engage in the body. Since the forward fold with the leg up is here, and then the T pose is either here or here. Now switch. As you exhale, release. We'll do a little bit more of a description on that pose just to help with stability. When you're lifting a leg up, a crucial aspect is to have the hips level. So even though you're folded forward, it's as if the hips are as you are still standing. If you start raising a hip, it starts to move things out of alignment. So if you'd like to try that again, keeping the eyes fixed on the spot, just move into it, bring a leg up, feel the difference that there is when the hips are parallel with the mat versus one moving up, one moving down, and then switch. More so just for awareness than.
Can you tell me if my hips are even?
Yeah, I'll have to move though. Yeah, you're good. Actually, your left hip is raising a little bit. It's that camouflage purple shirt.
Easier if it's raised.
Yeah. Okay. So when it starts to dip down, what do you feel?
Less balance.
Try it. Yeah, try the other side. Just tell me any differences. On this side, it's pretty even. really just that left side has more. Another trick is where you flex the foot jutting out the heel. We can try that next week. And here we will squat. Remembering how to make this more intense. By bringing the palms together and placing the outsides of the elbows on the insides of the knees. Even more so. Bringing the hands onto the floor. You can lean forward, lean back. My hips didn't crack that much butter in crow today as well. I don't know if you heard, but Charles Crenshaw's father passed away this morning. So there is going to be memorial on Saturday. We'll keep you posted on that as we know more. He went peacefully. So that was good.
See, if he doesn't, I mean, I know he's sick, but nothing happened.
Nothing happened to spark it. It was just he was doing what he was normally doing, and then he laid down, and they just became non-responsive, and then just passed him to sleep. So, Memorial Saturday. We'll be keeping some of these classes up for at least a week on the YouTube, and then we're going to start sending direct links. So if you show up to class and I put you on attendance, it will send you an email with a direct link to the video of the class that you attended.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so that is the only way that you can access the class is through that link going forward. That'll be starting next week. But this week, we just have the last two classes on the YouTube. And then that means if you miss a class, it won't necessarily show up unless you're signed up for a series. We're still trying to figure out how to have it work for people that just have like a 10 class pass. We haven't figured out in the system how it pushes those emails. But if you show up, you'll have a digital version that you can access if you have internet. True. That's very true.
So, can you share that link? Like,
Can you share that link? I don't know yet. We haven't tested that out. Theoretically, yes, but I don't know. It may be where it's like it generates a direct one to each individual. And two people may not be able to access the link at the same time, but you may be able to share that link as long as they're not watching at the same time as you. I haven't quite figured out
Yeah.
those logistics, but at least we got that first part started. So as you're ready, Janu Shirshasana, left leg extended.
And then what did you say that would be a live link for 1 week?
Actually, we're thinking about having it archived for longer, but we can guarantee right now with our server space 1 week, technically a week in the day from the class because we don't count it until midnight. So technically Wednesdays when this class is available digitally, even though it's up right now. And you can live stream it. As well. As you inhale, sit up. As you exhale, twist in a direction. As you inhale, move the torso forward. Exhale, twist the opposite direction for you. Inhaling the torso forward. Exhale, bringing that left leg away from the ground. Then as you exhale, we'll bring the inside of the thigh onto the ground, and then we'll exhale, fold forward. Some of you may be big winners. You may have gotten an email that you won something at the silent auction. You can always pick that up tonight. There's been a rumor going around due to a teacher that left talking to another teacher that we're shutting down in September. That is not correct. And that teacher is no longer teaching for us, just so you know. There was just something that they thought was happening before they left to talk to two other teachers, and then they started propagating that information. Just want to clear that up. It is cleared up on our website. We are currently in talks with the landlord right now about our extension past December, since the ownership of this complex is shifting. And so we have to, the two owners are talking to each other. And so we'll know by the beginning of August what that entails. Inhale up. Then here, exhale, you can rest back. Lay back. As you exhale, sit up. As you inhale, move into butterfly again. And here we'll extend the right leg, left sole of the foot on the inside of that thigh. And we'll engage in our Janu Shirshasana. As you inhale, bring the torso up. As you exhale, twist in a direction. As you inhale, bring the torso forward. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction for you. Inhale the torso forward. Exhale, bringing that right leg away from the ground. And here as you exhale, bring the inside of that leg onto the ground and fold forward. Inhale the torso up and exhale, laying back. As you exhale, sit up and move on to the belly. Engaging in Sphinx. And eventually we'll slowly engage in Cobra. If you'd like to engage in more of a Cobra, this could be the time. As you exhale, release. Inhale, extend the arms alongside the body. As you exhale, bend those knees, holding onto the fronts of the feet or fronts of the ankles. Inhale, extending the legs back, engaging in your single or double bow. If you'd like to do something different while holding this position, this could be the time. And we'll release the torso down, pulling the heels towards the gluteals. And then as you inhale, extend the legs onto the mat. Exhale to child's pose. On an inhale, sitting up on the heels. Exhale if you need to the knees. Hands fanning them out. Pinkies and wrists touch. You can reach towards my wall or bring the hands down onto the ground. As you inhale, sit up. Fingers up, fanning the fingers forward. Down, backs of the hands on the mat. As you're ready, release. Begin your rotations. You can rotate the arms too. And then as you're ready, we will move into our gentle camels or full camels. Just trying to reorient myself for camera so we can actually see this time. Last week was awful. It was just like, there's a random knee. You couldn't really see anything. I was like, well, let me do a better job this week. So as you're ready, camel, gentle or fuller camel. On an exhalation, releasing into child's pose. And now you can think about your inversions, whether plow, shoulder stand, or in the mix for today, or legs up the wall. Move into bridge at your leisure, or invert yourself, revert yourself as needed. Being mindful to engage in half fish. At some point after all previous poses to help find that space between the chin and collarbone. And after you've engaged in your half fish, you can move into your Shavasana relaxation pose. Spreading the feet a little wider than hips width distance apart, allowing the toes to rotate outward naturally. Arms are comfortably extended, hands are away from the hips. A few inches to help the shoulder blades become comfortable with the ground. There's a subtle rotation of the chin towards the chest as the back of the neck elongates to find its comfortable place on the ground. Once again, connecting with your flow of breath. Inhale, exhale. Creating nature scene. My dictations are purely to help you refocus the mind. If the mind begins to wander, you can create anything you want, but my dictations will stay on a path. You are more than welcome to go on your own. Creating a nature scene, sights, sounds, scents, and feelings of this area. In this nature scene, create an ideal version of yourself that enters, and if clothed, wearing all white apparel, becoming the witness as you notice how the ideal self sees the sights, hears the sounds, smells the scents, and feels the surrounding area. Creating a clear path to a garden creating any new sights, new sounds, sense or feelings of this area. And allow the ideal self to move into this garden space. As you notice the ideal self taking in new sights, new sounds, new sense, and new feeling of this area. Small distance away, create an opening to a cave that has a clear trajectory to it from the garden, and this cave is naturally lit. Allow the ideal self to move into this cave that has a large structure in the center, surrounded by 7 smaller yet identical structures surrounding it. Each one of these smaller structures is adorned with a brightly colored rock. Have the ideal self move into proximity of one of these smaller structures. Have the ideal self say a mantra, prayer, self-affirmation, or self-positive statement. And then knocking off, the ideal self will knock off the brightly colored rock and replicating this for the 6 remaining structures. Having the ideal version move out of the cave into the garden scene. And from the garden scene back into the original nature space. Having the real self appear in Sukha, in Shavasana, somewhere in the space. And have the ideal self move and occupy the same space as the real self. Every inhalation brings the ideal and real self into the same plane of existence, while the exhale allows the nature scene to dissipate. On an exhalation, bring the legs closer together. And as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead for a symmetrical stretch. On an exhalation, hugging the thighs into the abdomen as the knees bend. On an inhalation, extending the legs onto the mat. And then exhale, rolling over to the right side. Then continuing over to the belly. For crocodile is the forearms stacked upon one another. Forehead rests on the forearms, feet spread out as wide as you find comfortable, and maybe the feet rotate so that the inside arches of the feet are attempting to work connecting with the ground, and the toes are facing out. On an exhalation, moving into child's pose. And as you inhale, move into your favorite seated position. Dandasana, Vajrasana, Sukhasana. Legs out, kneeling, crisscross applesauce. Finding your stability as we engage in Kapalabhati, skull shining. Forceful exhale, passive inhale. Exhale is audible, inhale is typically inaudible. You decide how much power goes behind the exhale, being mindful to still draw in the same amount of air as you expel on the exhale, beginning at your leisure. Allowing your Kapalabhati to subside as you engage in Nadi Shodhanam, alternate nostril breathing. You can do this with or without the hands. If you use this with the hands, you can place the index and middle finger at the point between the eyebrows, leaving a thumb and ring finger available to close off a nostril. Big inhale, large exhale to establish which nostril has a stronger stream. The stronger stream nostril I refer to as the active, the one with a little less, the passive. If both feel about equivalent, You can skip this practice and move on to breath awareness, silent relaxation, silent meditation. Otherwise, if there's a discrepancy between the nostrils, you can inhale normally through both and close off the passive nostril, exhale through the active. Subsequently, inhaling through the active, then closing off the active side, exhaling through the passive, and inhaling through the passive. Switching sides before an exhale, engage in this 4 more times on each nostril. Once you've completed your Nadi Shodhana, you can sit in breath awareness by just fully allowing your focus to be enveloped by the breath. You can also imagine the breath traveling around the spine, inhaling up the back of the spine, then exhaling down the front of the spine. You can also engage in a silent prayer, silent mantra, silent self-affirmation, or just remembering the so on the inhale, the hum on the exhale. If color focuses more in your roundhouse, you're more than welcome to focus in on that color. Another option is object focus, where you focus in on an object that is positive, noticing some minute details, and then going all the way to atomic, subatomic level, and then you can repeat that focus once again. hands outward, and eventually transitioning onto the hands and knees. Then we'll gently walk the hands back. Move on to the balls of the feet, extend the legs, exhale into a forward fold. And as you inhale, you can come up and arch back. And exhale, bring the hands for now. It's been a pleasure practicing with you this evening. Namaste.
No.
Thank you.